Hey everyone, welcome to News Weekly. So I'm your host Dan.
And I'm co-host again, Ethan.
Ethan, you're back. I can't switch the cameras. What's it like to be back on this show with me?
It's actually quite alright. We had a laugh last week and just glad to be back. More to do with Freedom Road, so I'm happy.
More to do with Freedom Road.
Yeah.
Anyways, just want to ask, do you think that you're going to be co-hosting for a bit longer than we actually thought? Do you think?
I think I will, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure I heard that Jack has moved to America.
America, what a place.
I know.
America. You're going to took me up there. There's a good couple of comedy shows up there I like watching.
Mate, he always just goes on these random cruises to places and holidays, so you know.
Was it a Disney cruise?
Might have been, yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard a lot about Disney. I want to go. But anyways, shall we start with the news? Well, why don't we say, if you didn't check out last week's News Weekly, you can go check that out. It will be in our link tree below. If you just go on the one that says News Weekly, you can go to that one. I'll take you to last week's. Obviously, if you want to go to the new News Weekly, that'll take you back to this video. So you could watch us all again. But Ethan, why don't you kick us off with the first little bit of news? Because we didn't find anything this week, did we, from the BBC? It was a bit dry.
Yeah, it was a bit dry from the BBC, so we'll just talk about what's been happening with Freedom Road recently. Obviously, if you follow our podcasts, we've put one out last week, which was the Tourette's awareness one, so go give that a listen. It gives you a bit of an insight on what it's like living with Tourette's syndrome and what it's like having friends who can help, and if, like, basically asking questions about if it should be taught about more and learnt about by, like, teachers and students a lot more often. So do you want to speak about the upcoming podcast?
Oh yeah, the upcoming one. So the upcoming one that we've got coming out this Wednesday is called Anxiety Matters. I had to remember that one. I ran that one. That was very anxiety-filled for me to do a podcast because I struggle with doing podcasts, but I'm better at doing this kind of stuff. But I think it went really well. We all had open conversations about, well, anxiety.
I think the podcast coming out on Wednesday is probably one of the longest ones we've done recently because of the amount of insight we've had with everyone's opinions and stuff and like personal stories and stuff.
Well, one of the young people that I don't think will mind has said about is Jamie, and I found out Jamie struggles a lot with his anxiety and stuff, and I knew a bit, but it was like Jamie was really brave to just sit here and just
talk about
what's going on, because it's hard to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, if he didn't say that in that podcast, I wouldn't have known. Like, it doesn't show it when he's at Freedom Road.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think that's a great thing that I think about Freedom Road is it kind of brings the good sides out of people, and because you can feel like it's a safe place, and like we say, everybody is a healthy, dependent relationship in Freedom Road.
It's literally just a second family for everyone.
Yeah, totally. So go check that one out. It will be out on Wednesday. Just keep looking at our social medias, so you can go follow us on social media if you want, and then you'll be able to know when the podcast comes out.
Yeah, and this festival has just happened, so I want to get your thoughts on this, Dan. How do you think Arrowfest went?
Well, I think Arrowfest was amazing. I mean, I think we didn't do obviously last year because of COVID, but Arrowfest is one of the festivals that we all look forward to. But
you're raising money for Freedom Road.
But we all kind of love when it's over because it's a very hard weekend because we're all working. It's very weird to be doing all the volunteering because at Humber Street and Tribfest, we don't really do that much. It's like on and off
hours and stuff like that.
Whereas
Arrowfest is, if you're in a band, you do your band stuff. But if you're staffing as well, as soon as you come off, you've got to put your gear on, completely change.
Yeah, totally.
And like you've got to have like two personas in like one day.
Yeah.
It can take a lot out
of you. But I mean, Tribfest is more laid back because you're just running the stage. Where Arrowfest, you're doing like litter picking, making sure everybody's all right. You're basically running the festival.
Yeah.
But it's a great festival at the same time because obviously we're getting money funded from this festival.
Yes.
So it's just an absolutely great thing to do. And Mike Arameo, I've got to remember his last name.
Yeah, I got it wrong last time. But
I mean, he puts this festival on, and he's put it on this year, and I think it's great that he's putting it on because it's just kind of great to think that someone's doing
someone's
a charity
still trying
event
to help
for us. Do you
yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
it's still trying to help a charity out in a difficult situation, I guess. And then, do you want to talk about the upcoming summer school?
Oh, the upcoming summer school. Right, so we've got a summer school coming up on, what's the date, Ethan? Do you know? I can't
think
remember
it's
if...
the 16th to the 20th of August.
Don't quote us on that, but we might be right.
It's around that time.
It's around that time. But anyways, we've got this summer school, and I've got to remember what it's all about. There's been a couple of things on about it. But, if I'm right, it's basically, obviously, in Hull, we have East, West...
I think that's the only two groups we're doing.
And then we do have a North, don't we? Or is it?
No, because we're not getting as many people.
No, but we do have a North, not a South. That's the thing, because the South...
Yeah.
I've got who knows. The South is the water. I think. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff.
I should put a compass on my hat, you know, and just...
Yeah, you should. Yeah, because that's right, isn't it? Because... 1 minute.
My laugh changed it.
We're back. North's that way, like right in front of us. West is that way. East is that way.
South's
the
Never
river.
eat shredded wheat.
Yeah, South's the...
Unless you like shredded wheat, because it's a good cereal and it helps you grow big and strong.
But anyways, let's get back to this. So basically, we've got the two east and west. They're the ones. So what they're doing is they're splitting east and west, and it's drama, dance, singing, all the arts.
Or comedy.
Or comedy. Yeah, or comedy. And basically, I think that they've got to kind of like build like a performance in the two like
separate groups,
east and west. But if they need, like, I don't know, they don't have someone that can play drums and from the west group and Ethan's in the east group, that they have to basically do some research about a youth group or something like that about east.
In my area.
About your area, that's the one. About your area, find some research. It's basically like...
It's basically like a learn.
Yeah, so they're buying Ethan because they found the research. Because the whole thing is finding about everybody's communities. It's about that healthy dependent relationship kind of format. Yeah. And about all the different communities and all the different things that all the different areas in Hull do. And I think it's a great idea from Ian. That's one of his great ideas. For Ian to kind of think of that. And that's kind of, I think, the general idea. I don't know a lot about it. There is a text somewhere about it and I cannot remember. But
I can't remember.
But I think it's a great idea. What do you think? I mean, you know a little bit more about it, don't you, than me? I don't know.
To be fair, I think it is quite a good idea because it's bringing people together that might not usually work with each other. Like me and Dan, we've worked with each other in the past for ages. About 7 years we've been working together. It's been such a struggle handling this guy. But
oh my gosh, I feel offended.
You're older than me, but I started before you, and you're more of a Muppet than I am.
What do you mean you started before me?
I started when I was 8.
I started Freedom Road before you.
No, you started the music before me. I started the acting before you.
No, I started the acting before you.
Yeah, you started acting, I started music first, and then we kind of switched over, started working together.
Yeah.
And let's get off this conversation because
let's
we
get
don't
that
want to argue.
right. Because I'm sorry, but I did the Fat Talk challenge and you didn't, so
I could have actually been in that, but I joined like halfway through when you were practicing.
Good. Well done. Because I needed to
How many main parts have you had in Rock Challenge?
Sure. Leave me alone.
I've had 5.
I don't know. I never got a little last year. We didn't even have one last year, but I just always feel like a boy.
I had 5.
It's okay.
In my time. How many questions and answers did you have to do?
I don't know.
2.
He's done more than me.
Let's get back on about this summer school thing.
People are going to think I'm a wreck and I'm just emotional and now I'm crying because I'm pretending to cry.
Is the beard. Well, anyway, let's get back on to summer school.
Let's just move.
Yeah, let's move on to summer school. So yeah, like I've just been saying, me and Dan have worked together. It gives others opportunities to work with new people because we've got a new member in the podcast, Sasha. She's not really worked with me or Dan in the past before because it's only recent she's joined. So it's going to be good to see everyone that's not really done anything with each other for a while to actually like get back into it. Like it could create more friendships and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because I know what you mean. It builds on relationships by working with new people and finding out new stuff about new people. Because if I know I'm very similar to that person, then you kind of bond with that person.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point about this is building them healthy, dependent relationship. I know we keep bringing it up, but that's the whole point about this podcast is building them healthy, dependent relationship, finding out who's the right person to make your relationships with and who's the bad person. And I think that's the whole point about this podcast.
Yeah.
The whole point about what we're doing, why we're going this way with the podcast of Part of Freedom Road and everything that we're doing, I think is we're trying to direct it that way because that is I think the best way to go is
Yeah.
because bad relationships are never good in life, but them healthy
Yeah.
relationships always help you out because they give you that strength to actually be able to know what's wrong and
Yeah.
right and live. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, another good thing to add on to that, I think, is the podcast can also help listeners who might be in a bad relationship now to realise that they're not in the best of relationships, and it could help them out, like finding out ways to get out of it and getting the help and getting the help that they actually need and stuff like that. Like the podcast could educate people on how to find a good, healthy relationship that they can depend on, rather than like, because obviously when we first started, we wasn't the best of children. Let's say that we wasn't the best behaved, but
I mean, it was all about what was it? Spaghetti, chip, and meatballs.
That's literally
Meatball, spaghetti, and
meatball, chip, and spaghetti. It was between me, Dan, and one of our other friends, which we've lost contact with. But me and Dan are hoping to bring that back one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, we will. Promise you. We'll bring it back. Well, let's move on because
let's move
this
on.
is meant to be a short, sweet news weekly. What's next? What we got?
Summer school was the last one, Dan.
Was it? Gosh, we're at the end. No wonder you were trying to drag it on. You just wanted more film time, didn't you? That's what it was. That's what it is.
And also with that 10 minutes, you can get ad revenue.
What does that mean?
Ad revenue is where you get money from people watching ads.
Yeah, we want ads. Pay for us, guys. We deserve it.
YouTube is free, but if you're watching ad, please watch all of it.
Yeah.
It helps Freedom Road.
Yeah. Right, so I think we're at the end of this week's News Weekly.
We are actually, which is a bit upsetting, but hey up, I'll be back next week.
Yeah, mate. So if anybody wants to co-host with me, call me because flipping heck, mate. When this camera goes off, we're like, woof, woof.
That's why it takes us a week to record them because we have a fight after each one and then recovery time.
And then Ian puts us in a room and we do some what's that word?
Music.
No, that where you go.
Counselling.
You're counselling, that kind of
group counselling.
Yeah, I can't think of the proper word, but we kind of go over our feelings and then we're fine, and then we're like.
Doing a News Weekly.
I hate you. No, we're not. We're joking. We're like brothers.
Always.
But anyways, thank you for joining this week's News Weekly. You're going to have to put up with me and Ethan. We just can't get on with doing recording because we laugh too much. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
We're just like an hour, but it's about 20 minutes. But anyways, don't forget to follow us on our social media. It's down below. Don't forget to watch... Listen to this week's podcast that is out on Wednesday.
What time?
Last week's podcast, it'll be out at 6 o'clock, hopefully.
6 o'clock, hopefully.
If it goes up.
It depends on Wi-Fi.
Yes. Check out last week's podcast, what was about Tourette's. All the Q&As are still up. Go check them out. Even if you want to go and watch that first ever video that came out, go watch that as well. Something to watch.
Was that when we was at the old unit?
Yes, it was.
And now look at us, we've upgraded.
I know. With a light that keeps
We've got an already painted wall.
Yeah, but anyways, thank you for watching this week's episode of News Weekly, where I try and do an American accent. I've been Dan.
I've been Ethan, I'm not really good at accents. I don't even think that's American. It's like Australian as well.
Oh my gosh, you diss my American accent? My name's Fergal. I just go into my Fergal accent and I'm like, great. But anyways, we'll see you next week for a bunch of Laughs with us too.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
And you, come on,
And
you have been watching. 1 minute.
No, stop it.
We'll get there. We'll just do that again. Get that. There we go. Sit down. And you have been watching News Weekly.